So I'm gonna take you through a simple strength training program for jiu-jitsu. Now, obviously you could use this for MMA, you could use this for boxing, etc. But it's gonna be slanted slightly towards the more force end of the force velocity spectrum. Then grappling sports, I guess, suit better in that area. So I like to see grappling sports as more force-based. MMA is kind of a hybrid. That's not to say they're not all hybrid, but more of a hybrid. And then striking out's more on the velocity side. Doesn't mean you're not doing any strength training, just giving you an idea of kind of where things fit. So I'll show you from the warm-up through to the different exercises. I'll give you all the variations as well that you can do if you're not gonna do the specific exercise I'm gonna do, give you some of the reasoning behind why, so you can kind of plan your own training program well. Now, also check the description. The Jiu-Jitsu Strength Conditioning Blueprint is there, it's free. We're gonna do through exactly how to set out a training program, the what, the why, the how, all that stuff so you can do it yourself as well. Of course, Suicides Fighting Underground has all my training programs as well. It's only 37 bucks a month, guys. Make sure you get in there and check that out too. But I'm gonna take you through my warm-up first and we'll go through the rest of the session. Now, it is raining outside, which means I will not be throwing any medicine balls out there or anything like that, so we're gonna be constrained to the garage gym here. So I'll take you through my first warm-ups. And with my warm-up, I always like to pick 3-ish exercises and do them in a circuit. That way you can address anything you're not gonna get in the session or within the training week. Typically you're only in the gym 2, maybe 3 times a week, so it's hard to hit or touch on everything if you're doing a lot of jiu-jitsu or a lot of your other combat sport. So this warm-up here is gonna be jumping rope. So we get a lot of low-level plyometric work and we get the heart rate going and get it warm, as you could say. We're gonna do a windmill or a half-kneeling windmill against the wall just for thoracic rotation, because my rotation is shocking from just years of strength sports. So a bit of that. And then also gonna do some neck, because neck is obviously important. Now you could do neck, you could do some of the stuff at the end of training instead of at the beginning, but I just think it just makes a good warm up to be able to do all this stuff together in a circuit format. So I'll take you through some of that. So I just did 2 rounds of that circuit. I'm gonna go on to, you can see the extended part of the warm up. I'm gonna use medicine ball, just do some rotational slams since I can't throw outside. Now, for this part, you don't have to do throws. You could do some form of multi-directional or just plyometric. You could do some form of jump, for example, like a box jump. Just anything that's essentially high velocity. So anything with speed really at this part. Now, probably just 2 or 3 sets, and this is gonna get me ready and warm to perform the first exercise, or the first main exercise, I should say, which I'll show you in just a bit. The nice thing about the rotational slam is it kind of doubles as a mobility exercise since you have to move your spine. There's some pretty awkward ranges of motion to do it. So suits my purpose well, since I did my windmill rotations earlier. So yeah, I quite like that one. So that was just 2 sets of 6, 3 each side, very easy and simple. Now we're going to go into our main, you could say, full body power movement. We're going to do a power clean, just from the blocks, from soft blocks, and push press. It's a little complex. Love weightlifting complexes and weightlifting derivatives for grapplers, because you have to move moderate to heavy loads quickly and from ground to overhead. Serves really well for grappling, wrestling, etc. So I'm going to take you through these. I won't do all my warm-up sets. I'll mainly film the working or closer to working sets, just so you don't have a billion videos of me warming up with the bar, etc. And then if you're not going to do weightlifting, if you don't want to do the power clean, catch phase and push press, etc., you can just do the push press. You can just do the power clean. You can just do the clean high pull if you don't want to catch. You can do snatch high pulls. Anything that's a derivative of a weightlifting movement that doesn't involve a catch, you can use the jump shrug, any of those. Now, if you don't want to do any weightlifting, heavy medicine ball scoop tosses for height or for distance over your head also make really good options. Loaded jumps is also another good option. So holding dumbbells or holding a trap bar, loaded jumps, or even a bar on your back, that's another substitute you can use. Kettlebell swing is another substitute I would add to this that you could use. So you've got plenty of options. But I'm going to show you this one because this is the one I chose today. Not going to lie, it's been a while since doing power cleans or push presses. So this will either be the last warm-up set or the first working set. We're going to do 3 sets. We're going to do 2 plus 2. So 2 plus 2 indicates you do 2 power cleans and then 2 push presses. Whereas if it was just 2 reps of power clean push press, you would do power clean then push press, drop it, power clean push press. Now I like to do the 2 plus 2 variations, etc., because it just feels better, and then it makes the push press a little harder. So you can play around with the numbers you use with these complexes. So if you wanted to do more reps, you could do 2 plus 3s. You could do 1 plus 3s if you wanted to really focus on heavier loads. You can do 1 plus 1s if you want to go really heavy. The less power cleans you do, you're going to be limited more by the weight of your push press, vice versa. So 2 plus 2 seems to be a really good sweet spot for this. So let's take you through the first set. It felt pretty good. So I'm just going to do like an ascending set structure. So that will be my first working set. I'll go up 5 kilos for my second, up 5 kilos for my third. And that'll be my 3 working sets. It's just one way you can structure your sets too. You don't have to do straight sets on the same weight for your working weight. You can make it easier just for general programming, but there's so many other set and rep structures you can do. Waves. This would be like if you're doing waves, this would be like a first wave, for example. 70, 75, 80. Then you come back down, wave again, with slightly higher loads, etc. But this is just going to do 3 sets, ascending to a harder top set, basically. So that's the power clean push press done. So that's the main full body movement done. It's a combination, I guess you could say. That will be like my hip hinge pattern of the day, even though it's not exactly a hip hinge, but pulling from the floor close enough. And then that will be my main pressing pattern of the day too. So I kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone with that one, which it's why, complexes like that can save you time depending on what you're trying to do, but it works well. So I'm gonna move on to the next. It's gonna be our main lower body movement. It's gonna be with the safety bar there. Hand supported split squat. I probably showed you this in one of the previous videos, at least the previous MMA one. Now you don't have to do this variation, especially if you don't have this bar. Any kind of lower body push. Back squat, front squat, split squat, Bulgarian split squat, leg press, hack squat. Any of those work at this place or this point in the session. It's just to get some hard, heavy lower body strength done. Now I just like this one because, man, years of weightlifting and other sports, my knees, no, they feel good. They feel really good now. They felt good during that. But I know if I go from that and then I do a bunch of squats, If I did lighter squats, I might be okay, but I know that my knees are probably going to be sore after that. Whereas when I'm doing split squats, especially the hand supported one with this, my knees feel really, really good. So that's why I'm going to stick with this variation. So I'll do a few warm-up sets and I'll get my working ones. I'm going to do just 2 top sets, so pretty low volume. I've been working my way up there, so obviously those kind of count with some of the volume, and probably 3 to 5 reps, honestly probably around 4 reps for my 2 top sets each leg. So I'll show you that. So I'm going to make this probably my last working weight. As you can see, I think if you count the heavier bar, I think it's 120 kilos. So I'll probably do a set of 4 here, see how that feels, and then add some 5s and do 130 for my 2 sets. Probably, we'll see. I'll show you how it goes. What I don't show you in these before my final set here is how long I'm resting between these sets. You don't want to be moving quickly when you're doing your strength training when your goal is to get stronger or even to get bigger. In fact, pretty much most of the time, unless you're doing some kind of circuit work capacity stuff, you want your rests to be long and long enough to recover to where you can do the next set with similar quality and not have that huge drop in performance where you need to take the load off or cheat reps or whatever it is you're doing. So, we're talking at least 2 minutes. Ideally 3 or potentially more, obviously depending on what you're doing. So, just bear that in mind. Your rests do need to be long enough. So, let's do the final set of the hand to split squat, and we'll move on to the next exercise. So now we're into our main upper body movement. It's going to be a weighted chin up, and I'm going to do it on the rings. Feels awesome on the rings. We just got these recently. Now, if you don't have rings, bar, it all works the same. Now, I will say that if you have wrist, shoulder problems, elbow problems, rings are amazing because they rotate, so you can naturally rotate your arms, elbows, and shoulders as they were when doing the pull-up. I find the straight bar eventually, my elbows, shoulders, things start to play up. The rings feels very, very nice. So we're going to do 3 to 5 reps, 2 to 3 sets. Now, if you don't have pull-up stuff for whatever reason, barbell row is probably the best alternative to load heavy for 3 to 5. If you can't do that for whatever it is, inverted row, so lying on your back, known as a fat man pull-up, you can load that with a plate on your chest as well. It's another alternative. So you've got options. Now, you can also superset this with other stuff you need to do within the session, but I've got a little tricep at the end I'll show you to finish off. But let's get a bodyweight set in to warm up, and then we'll add some load. So that's the weighted chins done. So I'm taking you through the final tricep, I guess, just to cover some of the stuff we haven't covered already, just the small stuff. So landmine rotation, so to give us more of our rotational work. There's a couple ways you can do it. I like to do it where you turn the leg in, so turn the hip so you incorporate the lower body. Obviously you can do it by keeping the hip still if you're doing just like anti-rotation to isolate the upper body, but I like to do it with the hip. Then I'm going to do ring push-ups. So it's going to be kind of like our accessory pushing movement, just get a little more volume in because the push presses wasn't much volume. It's heavier load, but just some horizontal pushing. Then obviously you have the stability of the rings, all that kind of stuff. And then we have a gripper, just for some grip work. This is the trainer resistance. I don't know if you can see that. From IMI, Captains of Crush, easily the best grippers. So it's going to be just 2 sets, 6 each side on the landmine, 8 to 10 push-ups probably-ish, and then on the gripper 5 to 8 reps. So the nice thing about that final circuit as well, you don't need much rest. I pretty much didn't rest between the circuits, like a short 10 to 20 second rest. So that's the idea with the final circuits, is you can go through them and you don't have to worry or wait so long with resting. So you get that working quite well. With the landmine rotation, you can go continuous side to side, which in my opinion is a more advanced version because you have to decelerate a faster bar. So the version I did would be like the regression before that. So I would use that one and then eventually progress to the other one. But that was the entire session. So we covered everything we needed. If you were gonna do a second day on this, you can follow the same template, but you'll switch things out. So instead of the hand squat, split squat, you'll probably do some kind of deep squat or some kind of bilateral version of a lower body exercise. Instead of the Olympic lift, you could do another variation of Olympic lift, or you could do some kind of heavy throw or jump instead. Like loaded jump, box jump, something like that. And then to substitute to get your hip in, you could do RDL. So it could be like some kind of heavy throw or loaded jump. It could be a heavy squat. It could be some kind of heavy press, like incline, and then heavy RDL. And that will cover your main lifts throughout that entire session. And then you might finish a little circuit here. It might be like inverted row, some kind of grip, some neck, or whatever it is. You pretty much covered everything in those 2 days. Sessions will take you an hour maybe, and you're pretty sorted. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.